You have spent decades meticulously engineering a massive financial portfolio and constructing global projects with absolute precision demanding the highest standards of structural integrity, yet while your professional legacy stands unshakable, your internal biological foundation is silently experiencing a catastrophic structural failure. Prediabetes is not merely a mild warning sign on a medical chart. It is a severe biological audit from your own metabolic system, indicating that your cellular infrastructure can no longer process the chaotic influx of modern refined energy every time you experience a massive glucose spike, followed by a devastating insulin crash. You are essentially introducing violent volatility into your most critical biological asset. This erratic metabolic behavior severely degrades your cognitive clarity, drains your physical stamina, and compromises the unwavering executive focus required to command your empire. True global elites absolutely refuse to tolerate this level of internal instability. They recognize that a compromised metabolism is the ultimate threat to their sovereign longevity and immediate executive dominance. The conventional medical industry fundamentally misunderstands the management of prediabetes, treating it as a passive waiting room for inevitable pharmaceutical dependency. Amateurs simply accept their deteriorating metabolic state as a natural consequence of aging, relying on superficial diet trends or eventually surrendering to a lifetime of chemical interventions to forcibly regulate their blood sugar. This reactive paradigm is a devastating abdication of personal responsibility and executive power. When you outsource your metabolic regulation to external medications, you voluntarily relinquish your absolute biological sovereignty. Furthermore, these temporary chemical patches do absolutely nothing to repair the underlying structural damage caused by years of chronic cellular inflammation and insulin resistance. To achieve true physical immortality and preserve your unshakable vitality, you must permanently abandon this subordinate mindset. You must adopt a ruthlessly disciplined framework that actively reconstructs your metabolic architecture from the inside out, demanding absolute operational efficiency from every single cell. Enter the sovereign protocol of elite metabolic engineering, a highly disciplined nutritional and physical framework that completely reverses insulin resistance. Absolute biological mastery requires the exact same rigorous daily execution and strict routine that you currently apply to your most demanding professional projects. The true secret to stabilizing your blood sugar does not lie in starvation but in the strategic elimination of highly refined carbohydrates and inflammatory processed seed oils that violently disrupt your hormonal equilibrium. You must transition your biological engine to run on premium high-quality proteins, healthy natural fats, and fiber-rich complex carbohydrates. By meticulously controlling the exact macronutrient composition of every single meal, you prevent chaotic glucose spikes and maintain a perfectly flat, stable energy curve. This disciplined nutritional strategy creates a powerful internal environment where your cells naturally regain their insulin sensitivity, transforming your body from a fragile sugar dependent organism into an impenetrable fat-burning fortress. However, simply engineering a pristine nutritional input is only half of the sovereign metabolic equation. The most critical structural component in the fight against prediabetes is the active architectural strengthening of your muscular system. Amateurs mistakenly believe that light cardiovascular walking is sufficient to manage their blood sugar, while completely ignoring the immense metabolic power of resistance training. Your skeletal muscles are the largest glucose sinks in your entire body, acting precisely like a massive biological sponge. Your actively contracting muscles pull excess sugar directly out of your bloodstream without ever requiring an insulin spike from your pancreas. By engaging in highly targeted, consistent strength training, you are physically building a larger, more efficient metabolic engine that effortlessly processes energy This is why the global elite incorporate strict daily physical conditioning into their non-negotiable executive schedules. They are not just building aesthetic strength, they are actively forging a robust biological shield against metabolic decay. This dual approach of strictly regulating your nutritional input while aggressively expanding your muscular glucose capacity creates an unbreakable metabolic ecosystem. It is a self-sustaining biological organism that naturally maintains flawless energy levels and profound cognitive sharpness without ever relying on sheer willpower or temporary chemical stimulation. But knowing the sophisticated theory of insulin resistance is entirely useless if you do not know exactly how to execute these strict protocols during your high-pressure daily routine. How do you practically implement these dietary boundaries while navigating luxurious global environments and demanding corporate banquets? What are the precise physical movements required to maximize your metabolic efficiency without causing joint inflammation? We are about to reveal the exact high-end execution strategies used by the world's most vital leaders to achieve absolute metabolic sovereignty and reverse prediabetes permanently. Welcome to the elite execution phase of your metabolic reconstruction. The most critical vulnerability in establishing a sovereign biological state is the severe chronic disruption of your fasting windows. Amateurs often completely ignore the immense power of digestive rest and constantly flood their systems with continuous snacking, creating a massive internal structural conflict. To achieve absolute metabolic sovereignty, you must first implement targeted aggressive daily fasting protocols. The global elite utilize dedicated intermittent fasting routines, strictly compressing their eating windows to mathematically eliminate the constant insulin demands placed upon their pancreas. By aggressively extending the period of zero-caloric intake, you intentionally activate autophagy, a profound cellular cleansing process that actively repairs damaged insulin receptors. This unshakable biological perimeter guarantees that your magnificent metabolic engine remains completely effortless and natural throughout the day. Your physical legacy demands an impenetrable metabolic fortress that operates with absolute frictionless efficiency and structural grace. The second operational mandate is the flawless architectural fortification of your circadian rhythm and the absolute mastery of your cortisol levels. The visual pollution of chronic stress and sleep deprivation is absolutely unacceptable in a premium executive environment. True luxury is carried in the profound restorative depth of your sleep cycle. You must engage in highly specific evening routines designed to awaken your dormant parasympathetic nervous system. They flawlessly lower your cortisol, effectively halting the liver from indiscriminately dumping massive amounts of glucose into your bloodstream during the night. The protocols must act strictly as a silent, omnipresent guardian that never disrupts the profound serenity of your biological clock. This meticulous hormonal integration preserves the authentic classical atmosphere of your physical presence while secretly providing the most advanced metabolic defense available on the planet. Your body will look exactly like a timeless monument of classical strength while functioning precisely like a modern hyper-intelligent biological organism. The final structural component of your metabolic protocol is the establishment of a centralized sovereign biological tracking matrix. Managing your cellular alignment across vastly different environments requires a singular unified mental interface that transcends chaotic dietary trends. The top 1% construct a dedicated internal control center that monitors their precise biomarkers. Whether they are commanding a boardroom or relaxing in their private villa, this allows your exclusive neurological system to constantly monitor the stability of your fasting glucose, the exact efficiency of your fat oxidation, and the metabolic expansion of your muscular capacity simultaneously. By consolidating this massive flow of biological intelligence, You completely eliminate fragmented dieting and ensure a flawlessly synchronized physical presence. You are no longer managing isolated symptoms, you are commanding a highly integrated global physical empire with absolute omniscient precision. Implementing this definitive metabolic architecture completely eradicates the psychological torment of physical fatigue and the looming threat of chronic disease. You will never again need to obsessively worry about sudden energy crashes spreading through your afternoon or catastrophic biological failures occurring while you are leading critical negotiations while amateur leaders are desperately reacting to their own physical decay. You will remain in a state of profound sovereign stillness. You have transformed your magnificent physical assets from vulnerable collapsing structures into an impenetrable self. Defending biological fortress, this metabolic mastery grants you the ultimate luxury in life, which is absolute physiological peace of mind. It allows you to redirect your immense executive energy away from exhausting dietary compensation and focus entirely on expanding your legacy and enjoying your absolute peak performance. You are no longer a hostage to the unpredictable forces of insulin resistance, you are the absolute master. It is time to step away from the chaotic anxiety of biological deterioration and elevate your metabolic portfolio to the highest possible standard of global dominance. This masterclass is provided strictly for educational and informational purposes, offering you the sovereign framework to rethink your internal preservation strategies. We strongly advise consulting with elite medical professionals to tailor these immortal principles to your specific physiological requirements. Do not let unexpected physical weakness dictate the future of your family empire. Build your invisible structural shield today and secure your absolute metabolic legacy against the degradation of aging. Please subscribe to our exclusive channel to join a distinguished global community of sovereign individuals who refuse to compromise on the integrity of their bodies. Implement the law of perfect energy. Remain perfectly unbothered by the weight of the world and stay eternally golden.